I'd like to call to order the April 13th, 2026 Agriculture Advisory Committee meeting at 6:01 p.m. We will begin with roll call. James O'Toole.
Here.
Natalie Sayre here. John Bars.
Here.
Peter Markey. He is on his way. Ryan Casey.
He let me know that he wasn't going to make it.
Thank you. Let him know in the future if he could let the chair know, just so we follow the bylaws. Thank you, my dear, though.
Or me or the liaison.
Or the liaison, thank you. Full Mazaragios Anastasio.
Here.
Thank you. Crystal Shea.
Here.
Daniel Theobald.
He is absent, right? He will be joining remotely but not participating.
Thank you. Marilyn Johnson.
Here.
San Mateo County Ag Commissioner Corin Whittle.
Here.
Farm Bureau Exec Director Jess Brown.
Here.
UC Co-op Extension Rep Dr. Igor Lacan. San Mateo County Planning Liaison Robbie Miller.
Here.
Thank you. Next is public comment. Before we begin, I need to make a statement. Robbie and I have discussed this, and it is imperative that public members and all in this room speak only when called upon by the chair. If in fact you feel you have a question, correction, or comment, you may do so only if and when recognized by the chair to do so. Extraneous noise in any capacity makes it difficult or impossible for all to conduct these meetings. We have a podium now. We believe that will help with that. People of the public are to raise their hand, and then I will call them to the podium. Okay, we will now move to public comment for items on consent agenda and to allow the public to consent to address the committee on any matter that's not on the agenda. If your subject is not on the agenda, the chair will recognize you at this time. Speakers should limit their comments to 3 minutes. All public comments must relate to something that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of this agency. If a comment does not relate to the subject matter jurisdiction of this agency, we will interrupt your comment and move on to the next speaker. As presiding officer of this meeting, I will determine whether the comment does not relate to the subject matter placed within the agency's review. Please note that the committee cannot discuss or act on any item not on the agenda. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just for the record to reflect that Peter Markey has joined the meeting. So we will first call upon members in person, followed by speakers on Zoom. For in-person comments, please raise your hand and speak once the public comment period is open. On Zoom, please use the raise hand feature or *9 if you are calling by phone. And once acknowledged, please start by clearly stating your first and last name for the record. Madam Chair, you may proceed with any person comments for items not on the agenda and items on consent agenda, which includes item 1 minutes from May 12, 2025 and March 9, 2026. We do have one person online that we can call upon after anybody in person.
Acknowledge in-person public members at which to speak and instruct everyone to state their full name for the record. Once all in-person comments have been heard, for public comments, hand to staff to confirm if anyone wishes to speak on Zoom. There is no one in attendance from the public at this time. Staff.
Wait, I thought.
Yeah, we do have Dr. Patrick Horn
Got it.
online. So go ahead.
The chair recognizes you at this time.
Thank you. This is Patrick Horn from the Pescadero Municipal Advisory Council. Our chair appointed me to lead a housing element task force, which met for the first time a few weeks ago for a presentation by the Housing Leadership Council on the 4 special needs items, 22.5 to 8 for the PMAC area. The purpose of the task force is to support the county in implementing these items with a forum for information sharing, community engagement, and input. The Ag Advisory Council is named as one of the stakeholders in the housing element items, so I'm hoping that the chair or representative will attend our next meeting when we share the sites analysis from the county. That meeting is not yet scheduled. Also, as an advance notice, PMAC is also planning a special meeting for the third quarter of this year to hear from the agricultural sector on its priorities, needs, and opportunities for support. We look forward to your participation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any
Thank you.
other? Go ahead.
No more comment, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
I have a question now.
We will now close public comment for items on the consent agenda and items not on the agenda. Are there any comments from committee members, or is there a motion to set the agenda and approve consent agenda, which includes items 1, minutes from May 12th, 2025 and March 9th, 2026? Chair recognizes Marilyn.
This is for the gentleman who just spoke. Could you tell me your name again and the date of that meeting that will be taking place?
Yeah, I'll have to unmute him again. That was, oh, sorry.
It was Patrick Horn.
Patrick Horn, Dr. Patrick Horn.
Yes, Patrick Horn from Pescadero Municipal Advisory Council. The next meeting isn't yet scheduled, but it will be within the next month.
But you did mention another meeting that you had a date for housing.
Yes, for housing, we're expecting a housing sites analysis. This is related to the 22.8 in the housing element items, and the date for that is still being worked out, but that will be within the next month.
Okay.
Thank you. Are there any
Jane.
comments? Are there any other comments from committee members, or is there a motion to set the agenda and approve consent agenda, which includes item 1 and minutes from May 12th and May 9th? Chair recognizes James Oku.
I just had a technical question. Before, during the meetings, we used to be able to see all the participants that were on Zoom. Is it possible to have that list up on the screen?
Yeah, it's not really there now, just because Angela is responsible for it technically, but see if I can.
I mean, yeah, if you're requesting that I take a screenshot and then share the screenshot of the attendees at all times, I can do that, but I don't
That would
know.
be helpful. This
I
is
mean,
Natalie.
Before, it just used to display.
Yeah.
I think it's under the more section.
I believe it is.
Participants, 9.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if we could see the attendees. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any other public members for items, or I'm sorry, committee members?
Done.
The chair recognizes John Bard.
Yeah, I just wanted to announce, I kind of got reminded by Patrick about housing, that the Farm Worker Advisory Commission is hosting a special meeting at Pescadero Elementary School this week, April 15th, Wednesday from 6 to 7:30. It will be mainly in Spanish, but there is translation. I would encourage folks to announce it to their workers if they might want to come. It's intended to be a listening session for members of the farm worker community to share their concerns and questions and aspirations around the issue of housing on the coast.
Thank you.
Through the chair for future committee member updates and questions are gonna be at the end.
Thank you.
Item 5.
Are there any comments from, I'm sorry, is there a motion to set the agenda and approve consent agenda, which includes item 1, minutes from May 12th, 2025 and March 9th, 2026?
John, just a quick thing, do you mind repeating the date and time for that?
It is Wednesday, 6 to 7:30.
It's a kind with it?
This coming today. I should have sent it to WhatsApp group.
And we'll move on to committee comments, at the end of the meeting, as Robbie said. Are there any comments from, committee members, regarding a motion to set the agenda and approve consent agenda, which includes item 1, minutes from May 12th, 2025 and March 9th, 2026?
I mean, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the May 12th, 2025. Nothing stands out that would not be accurate. It is quite a long time ago.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion was, moved by Crystal Shea and seconded by Marilyn Johnson. Thank you. Do we have a motion for the,
Can we just do this one first?
oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Can we vote on that? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, it passes for the March 12th, 2025. Marilyn, thank you. I appreciate your help. March 9th, 2026, minutes. Do we have a motion to, approve the, minutes for March 9th, 2026?
She's not looking over here.
Sorry, it's difficult because I have to read the script and then look back up.
Do you have to read the script?
Well, the county's asked me to, and
Oh.
and I'm fine, and I appreciate their time they've spent on it, so I think it's very helpful. So just give me a minute to look up again after, if you could.
So
Thank
there's,
you.
okay, there's a correction on page 2, committee action, committee member Crystal Shea Cole. I don't think that's her name.
It's definitely not. But,
And then on page 3, it doesn't have Cole's first name on the very item top. So those are the corrections that I've noted. I don't know if anybody else has any.
Would you like to make a motion to accept with those corrections?
Yes, I would like to make a motion.
I'll second.
Can, for the record, can you state your motion, Marilyn, and then? James?
I would approve the meeting minutes for March 9th, 2026, with the correction of Crystal Shea's name and Cole's name.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by James O'Keefe. Thank you. So, is there a motion to set the agenda, and approve the consent agenda, which includes item 1 on today's agenda, correct?
I have no idea.
Pardon me through the chair, Brian. I believe the motions they just made and voted on were enough to set the agenda, correct? They don't need to have another vote to set the agenda.
Well, those motions were for the minutes, to approve the minutes, the May 12th, 2025 minutes.
Right, and to clarify, everything on consent agenda and everything to set the agenda is all, the action is taken upon in one motion.
Okay, that wasn't stated in the motion, and previously it would be stated in the motion. So is that okay then if it wasn't stated in the motion? Hello?
If anything wasn't covered in that initial motion, I would just, as suggested, put it all together now, including
Okay.
the setting of the agenda.
Thank you, Brian. You're very helpful. Can we redo that, please? And Marilyn, can you, I believe it was you that made the motion. I'm so sorry to have to ask you, but if you could please do the corrected motion again, and do it with everything else, and the May 12th, 2025, I believe, can stand on its own.
Well,
So there would be a motion.
I don't understand.
Okay, that's
I'm
okay.
confused. I'm very
That's
confused.
okay. There's a basically, basically, we are moving to accept the agenda,
Which agenda?
the agenda for tonight.
Oh, tonight.
And approve the consent agenda, which is also in tonight's packet. And since you made the motion with corrections for March 9th, 2026, you can put that in there, and you'd have to do it all together. But for the record, it has to be that way.
Okay.
If you can do it, if not, I can do it, and then we will second it, and Crystal's motion will stand by itself separately. Because then at least that part's done. So did you want to do that?
No, I have to include both agendas, right?
It's everything.
Yeah.
The-
You want,
the
you want
agenda
person there
and
too?
vote
I mean,
The
it's,
whole consent agenda has to be one item.
Yes.
okay, that's fine if you want,
So
but
the
you need to say
confusing
the
part-
minutes and the consent agenda and the other thing, but the other things, the other two items weren't in there at all, so that's why we need them in there, correct? Brian?
So,
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Can I just, do you want me to just do it?
so to clarify, what's on the consent agenda, so everything can be approved just in one motion. It doesn't have to be broken out into individual. You don't have to do the meetings,
Correct.
one meeting once, then one meeting next. But where you stand now is you have approved the meeting minutes. And so now the
Yes.
recommendation is just to do everything else in one motion. And moving
Correct.
forward, everything on the consent agenda can be packaged as a single motion. There's no reason
Okay.
to break them up unless you
So
need to.
can, committee member can say, I move to pass the consent agenda and to set the motion to set the agenda for tonight's meeting, correct? So that would be what, thank you. So that would be what you would say. May I just do it? Okay, I move to set the agenda for tonight's meeting and the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
1 second.
Seconded by Cole Maserati and Anastasia. Thank you, Cole. Okay, next. Okay, well, there are 4 items and basically the problem is it doesn't need to be put into place. Okay, we will now move on to item 2, the 8.
You have a question
Did we vote on that
Sorry.
item, on the approval?
of the
Oh,
two changes?
No, thank you. Do we need to vote on the minutes and the agenda items together, correct?
Vote on the-
We voted on the 1 minutes, the May 12th, 2025. Now we need to vote on, and we voted on this, we need to vote on the second minute and the consent and the agenda items. So the motion that we just did for the consent and agenda items, the agenda and the consent items, the consent agenda to pass, all those in favor say yay, and first all those in favor say yay.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Opposed?
Okay, opposed here?
Yeah, I got some questions about this minutes.
Okay, so 1 opposed and the rest, of the members, aye. So there's 1 opposed, but he has questions, so does that go to discussion?
No.
Yes.
Pardon me.
I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead, Robbie.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, at this point then, it's, he has to pull it off the consent agenda, and so, Angela, do you wanna expand on that?
Yeah, well, a motion and an action just took place and the minutes passed. So is the motion being withdrawn? So that I think that needs to be clarified because the motion passed already for this item. So if Brian wants to elaborate on, do they have to withdraw the motion or just pull the item?
The motion did pass. So
It passed and there was just 1 opposed, so that, do you just move on then from it, or do you allow for discussion?
unless someone would like to move to reconsider that action is.
I'd like to point out an
Yes, I do.
incorrection.
Okay, so you don't do, okay, so if there's no motion,
Do one of us have to make a motion to
To
withdraw?
reconsider.
To reconsider the minutes?
correct.
Okay.
And is it for the March 9th, 2026 or the March 12th, 2025?
March 9th.
Okay,
Okay, then I make a motion to reconsider the March 9th minutes and hear what Peter has maybe seen that we overlooked.
okay, and I second that motion. So,
You have to
do
vote
we
on
have to
it?
vote on that?
Yes.
Yes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 4 ayes. All those opposed, nay. Okay, no nays. Okay, Peter, go ahead. The ayes have it.
There's 2 things that I don't see. What I kept bringing up about the sanitary seal being 20 feet because they said it was 10 feet. The engineer said after that they did an update, discovered it was 20 feet, and it's not written in here that, and the minutes.
It is.
I don't see it. Toby states that Assistance is 20 feet. Okay, I got that.
On the full packet, I believe it's, yeah, page 16.
I found it.
Okay.
Okay, the other thing too, is correct, Nicole, this is on this here, it says that, you state that, you would pass it if they would agree to at least 2/3 of the acre to a farmer. My remembering was that you didn't say if they would agree, if they would consider. That's a big difference.
Yeah, thanks
To
for
agree
clarifying that.
means that.
You have to.
Yeah, and it might go on record that they have to do it, or consider is different that they don't have to.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah.
That is correct, that should be considered.
consider,
thanks for
yeah,
correcting.
because
Yeah, thanks for-
I don't want that to go on record that they have to do it. They agreed where it's considered, so thanks for clarifying that.
No, I appreciate you finding that. Yeah, no, I agree, and I think it's a good change. Could I motion to, that we pass the minutes for those two corrections that Peter mentioned? Or,
Well, actually,
Yes.
one, it's
Oh,
the
that
20
one's
foot
actually-
is here, I found it.
okay.
So do you wanna make a motion then with the corrections, Cole? You started
Yeah,
doing
so
that.
Can you do the other corrections too that Marilyn mentioned?
Oh, yeah, they're both.
I think
Okay, so we have, Marilyn, your corrections were for March 9th or for May 12th?
May 12th.
Okay, hers were for May 12th, so we would.
Oh, wait, no, March 9th, last month.
March
Sorry,
9th,
yeah.
okay. So would somebody like to make a motion including Marilyn's corrections and Peter's corrections? May they just say the corrections that Marilyn said, or do they have to say the whole thing? Brian?
Actually, can you make the correction, Cole, because it was your.
Sure. I'll make a motion to pass with the changes that that on page 4 of those minutes, that it would be
March 9th, 2026.
of March 2026, that it would be, I would agree to vote for it if they would consider leasing out a portion of the property to a farmer or to a farmer. And then the secondary item would be also Maryland linking on what corrections you should get.
The corrections were, committee action, committee member Crystal Shea, his name is incorrect.
Yes, the correct spellings and I agree with Sherry amongst myself as well.
And
And would you like to put in that motion to approve the agenda and the consent agenda, so it's
Yes.
all in one motion?
Yes.
Okay, and would you like to second that, Marilyn?
sure.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nay? Okay, so it passes. Thank you for your help, Brian. Okay, so we will now move on to item 2, AAC procedural rules amendments, discussion by Summer Girlfriend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna share screen, and this is a continuation of the discussion from the last AAC meeting in March. To continue looking through the procedural rule, the proposed changes or amendments to the procedural rules. So let me just share screen here.
We left off at 3B, so is that where you're gonna start,
you.
is 3B?
Yes, so we left off on rule 3B here, and so. And this is where I was intending to put that.
We
Okay.
start at 3B.
Oh, I don't know why I can't. Yeah, so we went through the first two rules. Were on rule 3B, is where we left off, officers. And so I'll just kind of continue as we did last meeting, where we'll just kind of go, identify each section, and then the committee members are welcome to just, identify if they have any questions or concerns or discussion.
I think the committee has some that they want to make this or change it to.
Mhm.
So to bring that in as well.
Yes,
Last
definitely. Yes, definitely, just continue how we were looking last time. So, Rule 3B gets into officer positions. And so, I'll just summarize the edits or the proposed edits are shown in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna ask
Are
how this
we,
is gonna work.
Chair recognizes Marilyn Johnson with a question.
I was just gonna, did the last time, did we just give what, our opinion or our suggestion for the changes that were made?
The last time she began and then Crystal took over with what we wanted, not we,
Okay,
but she
okay.
had wanted
Just
for the
wanted to
bylaws.
clarify.
And we left off at 3B.
Yeah, so Rule 3B, officers, gets into the officers and, the edits are shown in red, the proposed edits from staff are shown in red. And I don't know if you guys are prepared to just chime in, feel free.
Well, I was actually gonna ask how this is gonna work. Are
I
you
don't
gonna
wanna
read everything?
belabor
as
anything
the
if you've
county
already.
wants?
No, I mean,
And then,
if you guys are prepared to just, comment, that was what we did last time.
Okay.
That would be ideal.
But I don't wanna take that away from, because.
No,
is
I
that
don't wanna,
okay?
the
Okay.
labor, more
No,
than
I
we
also
have
didn't
to.
know
If
if
you guys
we
are
raise our hand and
prepared, just jump right in.
Okay, thanks, Summer.
so on mine, I don't think that we need to accept an addition of a secretary, just to prepare the minutes. I think that's been going well with the liaison. And so I'd like to just scratch that altogether.
Okay.
So that it would be on line 3 and tell me if this is correct in what you're thinking. So I have it correct.
Well, I didn't change from what I've already sent you. I haven't changed anything. So what
Okay.
you have is what
Okay.
I'm reading.
All right, to explain it so that you know what line she's on is line 3, we do not accept the addition of, in quotes, and the secretary who shall prepare the minutes of each meeting of the AAC and any correspondence on behalf of the AAC at their discretion. So that would be mine.
But then James had his hand up too.
Yeah,
So
I just
James,
wanted to
okay.
second that because the secretary position has always been a point of contention. Last time we had officers and every time we brought up minutes, it's always been a real struggle for anyone who's been working to have to also do the minutes for these meetings.
So what do you
Okay.
say, you
So he's
second
agreeing.
that?
He's
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
And then on line 9, I do not accept the addition of at least one of. I think it should state the position of chairperson and vice chairperson shall be filled by farmers. I don't think that needs to be changed.
So that's the current bylaws, are that both?
No, and
I'm
what
sorry?
you guys proposed was to have it one change.
Yes,
But
no,
you're
I'm just
saying
saying,
it's a current.
you're
is-
proposing
is
to
keep
keep
it
what's
the
Yes,
same.
keep it
Yeah,
as
yeah,
is,
yeah, got it.
I
Do we want to vote on each one as we discuss each item? Instead of having to go through the whole thing and then go back again? Because then we might then end up voting next time. I think that we need to vote this time. It's come before the committee several times.
Ryan, could you
Yeah.
weigh in on that aspect of voting?
Yeah, I would recommend, just in the sake of efficiency, I would not have a formal vote on every single change or revision, and just do a conceptual, just take the temperature of the committee just to see if people agree, if there's a majority support for someone's suggestion, and if there is, then we can note that and then just
We'll
take it
vote
all
on it.
in one package at the end.
But in order to finalize the bylaws, we do have to, as a committee, vote on them.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's
So when
That's right. I'm saying, just for the
when would
purposes
we
of
do
making
that?
these revisions, instead of
Just
taking a vote on every single change, just see if there's majority support for the change, and then at the end, do the motion and vote on the whole package.
Okay, and then if people don't agree on the whole package, then we would do line by line, is that correct? Because our section by section or change by change, or bylaw by bylaw, because
Well, the idea is that, yeah, you would get majority support for each of the changes that you're making, so that at the end, it would just be
Okay,
a
and then
final
how do we
approval.
know we have majority support just through discussion? as opposed
Just
to.
like that.
Right.
Is that correct?
You could just do a conceptual, just check how people feel about this change. And if you
Okay.
have a majority that supports it, there's no need to, you can just capture it in the final motion. Otherwise,
Okay,
I think it'll
okay,
take a very long time.
Okay,
And I
so,
can take notes
Thank
as to
you.
what, like.
okay, all right, thank you so
So
much. So to what Crystal said about the farmers, is, keeping it as is, are we pretty much all on the same page with that?
Yes.
So there's no desire to kind of open it up to non-farmer positions?
Not
to
for
be
an
able
ag
to
advisory committee, no.
Take that role?
I think it's highly concerning to do that.
So.
Because of what this is, this committee. I see his hand, thank you. Robbie, go ahead.
Yeah, so. The AAC, the staff at least would like to see a broader pool of people, right? Currently, as the bylaws are written, it blocks 3 members from participating as the chair position.
Or vice
And
chair.
It's actually
So-
4. 4 members are blocked then from being chair.
so it by opening it up, it helps align with other boards and committees. No other committee.
Well, what's the
that we know of.
reason for it besides aligning with other boards and committees? Because our concern is, this is the Agriculture Advisory Committee. So in effect, somebody at the helm needs to have experience with agriculture in order to properly advise.
So-
Otherwise,
Well, I think
so
that-
what's the reason?
So yeah, I wasn't fully finished, but it's also, like I said, increasing the pool of candidates. In the past, I've heard that we've had trouble having people wanting to be the chair, so it could help with that, so that's that would help with
Well,
that.
I'd like to chime in, Robbie, for a minute, if I could, please, just on that one mention. It is extremely important that everything that we agree to or disagree in these bylaws, we don't do because we want to be the chair or because we personally want something. And I would step down as the chair if another farmer wanted to be the chair. What's important is that it's a farmer, because we're thinking about these bylaws for the next group that comes behind us and the next generation, not what we want. And decisions shouldn't be made on.
Well, I would just, can I?
Yeah, please.
Part of it was going back in history, so there was a point where there had been members that were not farmers, but they were well qualified, such as Fred Powder, who at one point was a public member and wanted to be chair, but we had to tell him no because he wasn't on, he didn't have a farmer seat, but he was, I don't know if others would agree. He used to be the ag commissioner. He had retired. He wanted to still participate. And we had to deny him from that because he wasn't in that particular seat. It had come up at that time, some discussion about maybe opening it up so that there's more opportunity for people that, it's still a vote by the committee members as to who becomes chair and vice chair. So if the committee doesn't think that somebody is well qualified that is, gonna be nominated, you still get that say, but it would allow people, it broaden it to allow people the opportunity that may be well qualified, but just haven't filled that farmer seat because maybe all the farmer seats are full, so they've taken another seat on the committee, but that prevents them from being the chair. That was part of the reason,
I think it would
just
be
to provide
concerning.
some reasoning.
So, James Arku?
So I think my 2 cents would be that I think the chair should remain a farmer seat. I think the interests of farmers for the Ag Advisory Board specifically is very important. I think if you opened it up for the other members, that conflicting interests could arise there. I wouldn't particularly mind if the vice chair was opened up, if you're just looking to increase the ability for more people to take seats, but that would be my 2 cents.
Thank you. Anybody else? Peter?
The history of the Ag Advisory Committee was in the past more of when there was a problem that when we didn't have all the seats filled and we had vacancies, and that was more of the problem. And I'm not saying necessarily farmers, but when vacancies were filled and the county didn't move fast enough when people apply to fulfill those vacancies. And that was the biggest problem. Ours, and if those farm vacancies were fulfilled in a speedy form or action, this is, we didn't have a problem of ours chair or vice chair as a farmer. This is the history was more so when vacancies weren't filled quick enough.
Thank you. Robbie, I just want to circle back to you because I did chime in when you were talking. Did you have more to say? I didn't want to neglect that. And then we'll move on to somebody else.
No, I think I mentioned that it's. Yeah.
Okay,
mentioned what I
thank
was
you.
gonna say. Thanks.
Anybody else on the subject? For Corn Whittle?
So there's 7 farmers and then there's 4 other, 1 ag business, 1 conservationist and 2 public members. The farmers would still have the majority vote, like on any motion that was put up there. The chair is really someone who organizes the meeting, runs the meeting and keeps it moving forward. I just don't, my personal opinion, which I'm not a voting member, is that someone else could also perform that function of a chair, and I think you guys should consider it because it does open the pool. Because I think, you know, somebody else would be just as able to perform that as well.
Thank
Just
you.
there has been chairs,
I think,
chair issues in the past,
thank you.
not being able to fill that position.
Thank you. Peter?
Just my opinion, I like it the way it stands, farmer being the chair, and the farmer being the vice chair.
Thank you. I think that a lot of people feel that the risk, go to you, Marilyn, the risks outweigh the benefits. I don't see anything being brought to the table that makes it a benefit for farmers on the San Mateo County coast, who are the people in fact that we need to represent and think of to open this up. It can't be done just because somebody wants it or what have you. It has to be done for the sake of the farmers. So I want a person in this position who's grown up farming, who farms now, who understands what it's about. It's extremely important. We are an agriculture advisory committee. Marilyn, thank you. Go ahead.
I would agree with Peter that I don't ever remember there being a problem finding a chair for the Ag Advisory Committee in the 16 years that I was on that committee previous to this appointment. I can see Corinne's point of view as the chairman is basically just running the meeting and setting the agenda, and things aren't really done. You don't do anything without all of us, right? So, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I also find the importance of having, especially a farmer, be a chair.
I think I really what James said too about, you know, it opens it
Yes.
up
Yeah.
to some real problems and some conflicts. And I think James is completely correct in that. And that would be my thing, yeah. Cole?
I think, you know, I sort of agree with both sides in different ways. I think that I agree with the fourth point that the role of chair really is facilitator, and so I don't think it's necessarily a big difference if it's a farmer or non-farmer. I think actually if there's anything that I probably feel like would make more sense to have, and I don't know if there's even possible change in the bylaws, is I kind of feel like there probably should be more farmers on the committee as a whole relative to the number of public members. And it seems like we've struggled to actually fill more public member seats in my limited time being on this committee. And so in terms of voting, the number of votes you have is really the more important component of this. So I guess to just kind of restate or recap, you know, I don't really think it matters for the chair or vice chair, but I do think that if there is to be a change in this nature, it's probably the breakup of exactly how the different seats are provided at.
It's a very good point.
That's
If
an
there's-
excellent point. If that's possible, I'd like to see both. Exactly. I don't think we need to make a change when something isn't broken. Jess Brown?
Yeah, I'm not a voting member, but it just seems like in reading the room, a majority of the committee would like to leave it as is. So it seems like we should move on to the next item.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Or we
I'm
can
gonna,
table it to the, if you wanna come back, we can table it to the.
But why
end. I mean, just come back to it at the end if we have time.
well, I think that.
But if
we've
we're all in
already-
agreement,
like-
We've
it
all
sounds
in
like we all.
We are all in agreement, and I
Why
think,
would we table?
and
So
Jess,
just
thank
move
you, I think
on.
you read the room very well. I think we're all in agreement, so we'll move on to the next one, so we could get on with the votes. So, Crystal?
So my next move is under the special duties of the chair, for A, to change it to say, to prepare the meeting agenda for meetings in cooperation with county liaison. Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I was trying
but
to take note of the
I
last
am
one, sorry.
Papers all over
Okay.
myself.
Here, I think you're at.
Instead of
Line
collaborate,
13.
yeah, instead of like collaborate
Where
is on A, it'd be to prepare a meeting agenda for meetings in cooperation with county staff liaison.
That's what it says, right?
And I. Sorry.
Okay. What she
So-
says we're willing to
That's
add
what
in.
was, so basic, so no change,
No,
because that's
yeah.
what was.
No
previous.
change.
Yeah, just to be
Yes.
clear.
No
Okay,
change.
all
Thank
right,
you.
well, I have a different one, but this must be, this is different than the one I have.
Yeah.
So,
Probably, I feel like this has
This
been
is
sent to
probably-
us so many times.
so mine says to assist in the preparation of agendas.
Oh, yeah, that was the
First
was that
one.
the February, yeah, so this latest, the April, copies. Yeah, it does say to collaborate with county staff, and that was just a change based on some preliminary feedback that I was taking in from previous meetings that, of discussion you guys had. But it sounds like the proposal is to not make changes to that and to leave as is.
Correct.
Okay, so, did you want to
Whether-
move on to 4B?
If we're fine with all.
Are we in agreement on that? We're pretty much in agreement, everybody? Peter?
I just have a comment before we move
Yeah.
on.
Hey, Peter, you talk up, I just heard that we were having trouble hearing you.
The chair recognizes Peter Markey. Peter, if you could speak louder.
I, Peter Markey, like to make a comment. And, when it says here to, doing the agenda for the meeting, and says number 2, ask for public comment. We normally also have a category for, committee meeting members making a comment that's not on the agenda. I don't see that anywhere. I don't know if public comment would be together with the committee member comments.
We put that at
It'd
the
be a
end.
separate.
It's not in there at all.
Committee
So,
member updates.
Was that purposeful or was that just a typo or something?
No, it's the existing bylaws. He's reading from, I mean, it's this section and no changes were proposed to be made. So I think you're proposing a change.
I don't care if we put it the same with the public comment, but, if it's, ask for public comment / committee members comment or separate, but I see it not here at all. So I didn't want us to be excluded for public comment.
Okay, is it there in the, in your proposed changes,
It's not there.
Summer or not?
No, this is.
So we're proposing to
Okay,
add.
so you're-
so
yeah,
we're-
we're proposing to add.
to
Yes.
make sure that the
Committee.
committee member comments should be in there.
Updates and questions, is that's what it says on
Yeah.
the agenda.
Okay,
Madam
Okay.
Chair, if I may, this is Brian.
yes,
Just to clarify, the number 6, the conducting the meetings in accordance with parliamentary procedure would necessarily include committee deliberations and comments on items before the committee.
Oh, this one.
Okay.
To
Should we
conduct the
switch
business
5
of
and
the
6?
meeting.
for the purpose of
Yeah.
of clarity, would you feel more comfortable if we had, to conduct the business of the meetings according to parliamentary procedure, semicolon, committee comments, committee members' comments, including committee members' comments, something to that effect?
No.
Peter?
No, I think we just need to
Uh-uh.
switch,
We
swap
just
5
switched
and 6.
5 and 6.
Okay, so you're
5 minutes
saying,
ago.
so you're
Lower.
certain, Brian, and then, so you guys are all, in the agreement of what Brian Pettit is saying, that is in effect in the parliamentary procedure of the comments, of committee comments. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
okay, all right. Brian, if there's any way you could shoot me that info, that would be really helpful, but thank you, okay?
Okay, one question, but
Yes,
did the committee want to switch 5 and 6 though?
yes,
Yes.
but you have to remember, when we convene the meetings, and this is a question, is that the order, we can, when we make the agenda items, we can at that point change per each meeting, or does this supersede that?
Well, it says closed meeting, it says closed meeting before conduct.
I know.
So over here in this little
Switch button.
the
Yeah.
notes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Summer's
Right.
gonna switch them.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
So we're moving on.
okay, moving on to 4B, is everyone pretty much
No, we're
in
on four, yeah.
agreement with that?
Rule 4B, section 4.1, yeah.
Yes? Okay, so moving on to 4B.
I'd like to reject all the changes. I think, for me, there's no reason to change it. It's on the second Monday of each month, and we can't just always limit from 6 to 8. If there's a proposed or project coming in front of us, we can't be on a time limit. If we need to go over, we need to go over. It's not fair to the applicant.
James?
My piece sense, I agree. I don't think that should be in there as well. I preferred when the meetings were 7 to 9, because it gave me more time to eat dinner. And I mean, like, the times have changed, and like, I don't think that needs to be in there.
I personally think it could be maybe a internal goal we have, but if I was an applicant and I was trying to get a project passed and that month just happened to have a heavy agenda, and now it's in the middle of mine and I'm not able to get all the information out that I feel I need to get a real educated decision made, then I don't think it's fair that I'm wasting my time. Everybody else has to now either come back another month, or we're just not gonna get a fair decision made. So I don't think we need to change it.
And it should be noted too, that that's affected planners as well. We've had planners in the past, I know you're aware of this, I believe, where they've come from far away and we were stopped short because we were told we had to. And that was difficult for the planner as well and their applicants. So yeah, I think that.
I agree with Phil.
I mean, and I know everybody wants to get out by 8, and maybe that's part of the chair and the liaison's duty with the vice chair of keeping it as an ideal agenda and not pack it so heavy.
And I like what you said about an internal goal. We can work hard as we're doing, but even harder to try to streamline as much as possible to work toward that goal. Absolutely. Yes.
So what are you proposing? What
No changes. No
Yeah,
changes.
reject the changes.
Are you
Reject the
proposing to
changes.
also not include
However,
that
however it was
advanced
done.
noticing of meetings needs to be provided 72 hours in advance?
Oh, I don't mind that. I just reject the 6 to 8.
This part?
Yeah.
Okay. So is everybody in agreement that?
So if you reject it, what would it say with the rejection?
It
Well,
just
it
would
wouldn't-
say as is, the AAC
Right.
meeting shall, the AAC
I'll name
Without
shall
the
meet regularly on
red.
the second Monday of each month. Yeah.
Right. Without the red, except
And then
where it starts
maybe,
with
I don't know
advanced
if you
and ends
guys
with
are
meeting.
okay leaving
Yeah.
that there's gonna be at least 72 hours notice of the meeting date, time and location.
I think that's good.
That's brown.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
the,
what do we?
so tell me if this is correct of what you all are understanding is that we, okay, so during the times of 6 to 8, well, that's out, we do not accept that change, but the advance notice of any meeting time location shall be provided at least 72 hours in advance of the meeting. That particular addition we do accept. Is that what?
I think so, because I think
Yeah,
that
it's
also
Brown
follows
Act.
Brown Act, yeah.
Okay, you got that okay in your notes? I'm putting in my notes, but two's better than one here. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to 4.2.
There were no changes
There's no
proposed, but
Yeah,
if
okay.
there's anything.
4.3,
I think 4.3, I think the changes you made were
Okay.
pretty fair.
is anyone in agreement with the changes she made in the red? Any
So-
comments?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I
That's
Mayor,
4.3
Mayor, complaint.
notice.
Elena
Marilyn
Brown.
Johnson?
I don't understand why personally or delivered by mail. Written notice of each special meeting being delivered personally or by mail to each member.
Why it was struck.
That's existing that we were striking out, proposing to strike out,
Yeah,
and just streamline it to, it just needs to be delivered to each member.
And so what we want to keep, what we're saying, we don't
I would like
want
to
to
have it
change
by
it.
mail. I
Yeah.
don't wanna have
Right.
it email.
And that's what we're saying.
Okay.
So the county's proposal
Oh, I see.
is to strike that, but we're saying no, we want to keep it the same, which would be personally or by mail is correct. Is that right? We want to leave that in, is what you're saying, Marilyn.
Yes,
Okay?
So it's leaving either personally delivered, meaning like by hand delivery to you, or by mail.
correct.
I have a question for Brian then. Is email considered delivered personally?
That was why we were making that change. The language that's currently in the bylaws is just what's in the Brown Act, so it's covered by that addition that special meetings as provided in the Brown Act special meetings shall be conducted as provided in the Brown Act. So it already includes that language. You can include it if you want. We've interpreted the notice requirements of the Brown Act to allow email notice. So that's why it seemed unnecessary to have that redundant language. But if you want to keep it in, it's the language that's already in the Brown Act. We interpret that to include email notice.
Yeah, so whether we strike it or not, or do anything, county will still interpret it as they can deliver it to you by email.
That has generally been the county's practice, is that notice of special meetings to anybody could be provided by email.
Okay, so Peter, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't
Thank you, Brian.
like if that's how it's interpreted, or Peter Markey speaking. If it's interpreted that it can be with that language delivered by email, I wouldn't want that in. And the reason why I wouldn't want that in is because my printer prints black and white, and sometimes when it comes in black and white, you can't see maps and different things really well. Where if it's mailed to me and it's in color, like this one here, red, yellow, I can see all that really well.
Would you like it to say personally and by mail? So then it means that if in fact emails personally, then you'd get it that way and by mail?
That's fine, I just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
That I get it like I am now by mail, not email,
Okay, so personally, I'm gonna get to you guys. Let me just write this down for my notes. Okay, Crystal and then Paul.
Okay, mine just a clarification. So within the Brown Act, when it says personally, that would be considered email? Would be considered personal?
That's what he
I-
No, personally means someone shows up at your door and hands you the
Hands you
agenda.
So
for the
email's not
special
even
meeting.
part of
No.
that. So
But
email
I
doesn't
thought
even,
that's what
is
he
it?
said.
said earlier.
This
Yeah,
is just
that what
getting
he said earlier. Yeah.
This is just to get notice that the meeting is happening, which normally would happen if you set a special meeting, it will be by the body itself, is normally how that happens. So this is just to provide other members who might not have been present to let them know that the special meeting had been set.
So, but if you wanted to strike out personally or by mail, how else would you be giving us that 72-hour notice?
So the Brown Act, the preceding sentence that says special meetings they can be conducted as provided in the Brown Act. The Brown Act already specifies how notice is given to members.
What does it say? What is it that
It says personally or by mail.
But if you want us to strike that,
It's already
Sorry.
covered in the
It's-
preceding
I-
sentence.
Yeah.
The committee
Okay.
may
It's
conduct
because
special
it's
meetings
just
as provided.
redundant.
So that
Because
covers
it's
it. is
already-
what
So
you're
it
saying.
didn't seem necessary. If you want to include it, you can. It's
Okay,
fine.
it's just.
It's what the Brown Act
the
says.
Brown Act says.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
but it
Sorry,
still
it was-
is or by mail, so you could think about if you want to change that to and somehow, Cole and then Peter
I
Um,
think I-
And then you got John too.
and John, thank you.
just an idea that may be the most cost efficient solution, while also kind of fitting what everybody would like to do, is maybe when a new member joins the committee, we get it for us to have an intake form. It just states we prefer email or mail. And that way the county doesn't need to mail out packets, big packets to every single person, but basically we can choose to have it emailed to us. For myself, I prefer email, but I know a lot of folks prefer mail.
I
That
think
way
that's
it's-
good. We actually have it agendized to discuss the mailing
Oh,
of
that's true, we can
packets.
get that
So
later.
we'll
Yeah,
talk about
that's
that then,
probably better.
but for
Yeah, I was
purposes of
thinking
this.
for now.
But I do
Yes.
appreciate you on that. Oh, I'm sorry, Peter and then James, Peter and then John and James, go ahead. Thanks.
Yeah, the interpretation was, Peter Markey speaking, first interpretation to me now is a little different than what it was earlier. But if you said, if it's or, meaning that it's handed to you or by postal mail, that's fine with me, because then I will get the different colors that I need to get.
Madam Chair, if I could again, I think I'm understanding where the confusion is here. If I
Okay,
could
go ahead.
try to clarify.
Yeah.
So
John,
I
you're
didn't
next
understand
after.
what the concern of the members was, and I've participating in these meetings, I understand that there's an underlying concern about how agenda materials are provided to you. This is not what's being covered by the special meeting provision. This is just how will members be notified that a special meeting has been called. So your regular meetings are set in your bylaws, right? It's the second meeting. So this is just if a special meeting is called, how will members be notified that the meeting is happening? This is not the form that agenda materials will take. It's just how will you be notified that a special meeting is happening? And the Brown Act provides for how that happens. It's either personally or by mail. I will tell you that I've never heard of people being personally served with notice of a special meeting. It just wouldn't happen. So it would either be mailed or under current, this is
Can
an
we
old
just-
provision. Email is a standard way these days for people to provide notice of special meetings.
Rather than to solve this, could we, rather than striking the whole thing, could we take out, you could take out personally, since it's not appropriate these days, but leave in and by
Just
mail.
No, because if you, but what he's saying is personally or by mail is already in the Brown Act. So
Yeah.
it's already,
It's a special meeting.
It's already
anyways.
a
How
special-
many
So
special
you're
meetings?
already
different-
gonna get it. is what
Yes,
you're saying.
yes.
Cause there's an R. Okay.
Yes.
No, I know it's
That's
a special
how-
meeting. That's why I asked Paul. That's on the agenda for later. Go ahead.
I was
John,
just gonna
thank
try
you.
to make the point that I think Brian just did, that this does not cover the receipt of agendas. So
Right.
That's a separation.
Yes. Okay, all right, so.
No, I'm saying.
James,
We're
done.
We're done. We'll move on.
4.3.
All right, okay, so are we
We're
leaving
done.
that in, out, what's the consensus?
Doesn't matter. It's already in
Leave
the
the
Brown.
change.
It's in the Brown.
We
Leave the
accept their
changes in?
changes. We accept
Is
their
that, do
changes.
we all accept? Okay, very good. Thank you for your clarification, Brian. Next would be,
Section 4.4,
4.4.
attendance and participation,
thank
and
you.
it was these two.
The only
edits.
question I had on this one was, it says 2 unexcused absences during 6-month period. So when it says shall be grounds, who removes that? Who requests that board?
It could be,
Who
I
would
think,
remove it?
I think it could be either staff, county staff,
Oh.
or if, I don't know, Brian, potentially
what
if
is
the
that?
AAC wanted to,
Yes,
take
That's
a vote or a
I-
consensus to recommend removal to the board, I think you could as well.
that's who it would come from. It would come from either the executives at the planning department or from the committee itself.
So they would be the one recognizing that somebody's not showing up, and they make the request. to have
Either
them
the
removed.
committee,
Oh,
you
gotcha.
could,
Okay.
or staff could, yeah.
I was
Mhm.
very
It could be either.
curious.
Were there any,
Any thoughts on 4.4? Are we in acceptance of the county changes on that? They seem pretty okay.
Right.
Okay, on the 4.4? Okay, moving on to 4.5, the quorum. Okay. See, 4.5, you have it on the screen. Yeah. Okay,
just some clarification?
Okay, there was a
Yeah,
point of contention on this one. There was concern about the county's addition of the word seated, that it should not be in there. As the law says, the voting members, not the members, present. So take out their addition of seated according to,
I've had some questions on
yes.
this, so I actually reached out to Ron Sturgeon because I know he was
Right.
he
very
wrote- he
familiar
wrote
with this.
these bylaws,
And
yes.
he also said that seated should not be in there.
Right.
So I wanted to ask, what was the purpose of adding it?
It's just the law. That's how quorums are counted. If there's a member position that the board has not filled, that is not counted as towards the majority needed for there to be a quorum. You just wouldn't count that one.
Yeah, okay.
Peter?
Peter Markey Spanicky. In the past, in the AAC, Brian, says when we had, like say a couple vacancies, it was counted. They just weren't filled. And, so that's where I'm a little confused. And we went like on that way for years. So, so basically, because there was a few seats that weren't filled, if say one person was absent, we didn't have a quorum because we were counting, the non-filled seat that's available.
Okay, that's all better.
I mean, if you took out seated, sorry, go ahead, Brian.
I guess this is consistent with the law, and I guess I'm just not sure.
Is the
Why-
law accessible right now? Like, can you pull it up so you can quote it and show these guys and us? And help us?
Can you scroll down a little bit? Is it, no, it's not included there. It's just, I guess I can assure you that it is consistent, that you don't need to count empty, unfilled seats toward.
Right.
But
quorum.
But if it
what
says
law
on-
is it? Is it, I mean, obviously it's not like, is it IDA law? Is it, I mean, obviously it's not. So what law is this? Can
But
you
I guess what I would wonder is if you want to count those seats, if you're insisting that you count those seats, it makes it harder to conduct the meetings. And I guess I'm not sure
Yeah.
what the purpose of making it harder to conduct AAC meetings would be.
So so if we have 3 vacancies and we should have 12, we're really only counting our quorum as half of 9 or more of.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Let's
So if there are 9 seated members, you would need 5 to conduct a meeting, not 7.
Right.
So
So in the
a
past.
majority of the seated
in
members
the
would be
past,
in
It's done wrong.
Okay.
those empty seats were counted.
Yeah, in the past they were counted and they
Yeah.
shouldn't have been.
No, they shouldn't have been. So
Not
I
always.
agree with the
I mean,
seated.
I remember when I was liaisoning and there was a lot of vacant seats. I think before some of you guys came on board, it was
Yeah.
a real struggle. And we did not count the unfilled seats because it would be
Which I
very
thought was
difficult
kind of just
to actually conduct a meeting.
Right.
So
Well, Brian, if
Okay.
if you could, if it's not accessible now, if you could get that to, if no one else is interested in it, just me, I would really appreciate it to be able to see that, if possible, the law that you're referencing.
I don't need to see it.
I mean, it makes sense. I see
Totally
both
makes
sides,
sense.
but if this is clear for everybody, and then that's,
I
Then I
say
see that point.
leave it. Yeah. Yes, we can, right.
It's helpful. I think we have two very,
Just
very skilled people on different sides of saying what the law is.
4.6.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, to me,
So that will
I would
help.
say I'm fine with
James?
whatever's requested to change. If anything, I would just say maybe add that unfilled seats don't count, just so we're
that's,
dead clear.
yes, that's kind of what, yes, I get it.
So you don't have to keep explaining, Brian?
Yeah, because
I got one other
that's
question.
been a point of contention in the past.
I think it'd be important to nip it in the bud, and that would help to nip it is to see the law. Peter?
Brian, I have one more question. Say if we go unseated and like you say, it's the law, but say if you have a couple people absent, those seats are filled, but they're not here. do you go upon the majority, what is present or
Yes.
seated?
No, the people that are absent are the reason that you wouldn't have a quorum.
Yeah.
It's seated.
If people are seated and they're not attending, you need a majority of the seated people to be there. So they would not be counted towards the quorum. They would be counted towards the reason that you can't have a meeting.
I think where the confusion might lay is the word seated means they're actually here versus Zoom.
Yeah.
Because like Daniel is on Zoom, he's listening but not partaking, so he would not have a vote, but these people are seated. Maybe seated just needs to be replaced with a different word,
Present.
like
Se- Seated.
a filled position,
In
like
attendance.
a majority of the
and-
filled
and- and
position and
Physically
I don't
in
know.
attendance, physically present.
It's probably a legal word.
it's
That's
not.
what seated means. It means that the board has.
I
filled
think
position.
that's where a lot of confusion just might be coming from.
Now
Okay,
we all know.
so we're all,
Now we know, we're learning and growing.
are we in agreement pretty much that, where are we here? Are we in agreement to allow for this change, for the seated?
Yes.
Pretty
I'm
much?
fine, I'm fine with it.
Yes.
Now that it's been explained,
Okay.
it
Here?
is what it is.
Okay, Peter, for the record, nodded yes. We're all in agreement to that. So let's move on to 4.7.
I'm on 4.6.
4.6.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 4.6. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So it might be repeating from 3, but it says the chair or vice chair of the AAC shall collaborate. I feel like we should just keep it consistent with in cooperation with the county liaison. Shall prepare an agenda for the upcoming meeting in conjunction with persons from other governmental agencies as may be required.
Yeah,
Because
you guys proposed shall assist, the planning
see, that's
liaison.
different from-
And I think that, shall assist, shouldn't be in there because then you're taking away from what, I think it needs to be equal and to remain the same as far as the AAC committee and the county working together. So in cooperation with what you said would be more appropriate. What Crystal said.
Yeah, and sorry, just to be clear, it's the shall assist was an earlier, I think.
I was gonna say, these are not, my notes are not
Yeah.
reflecting
Did
on
you-
what's in
So-
here.
I like the shall.
When you
shall-
sent
shall
it.
assist.
Yeah, so.
This-
Shall assist
Hopefully
means you're
you're looking
assisting
at
the
the
county.
latest version.
Yeah.
It was never that way.
It
and that
was
makes
never that way.
difficult. Yeah, that's just that.
But you never, but the committee, the chairman never did an agenda.
That's not true. They did
They
it with the county in the
Assist.
past.
Right.
No, they
But
never,
didn't set the
to assist
agenda.
means you're an
They-
assistant thereof by definition. And we're not assisting them, we're working in conjunction and collaboration with them. That's why that's a more appropriate word by definition. Assist means to assist somebody, hence an assistant in an office. Okay?
So I had changed that to, based on that similar feedback at a
Okay.
previous meeting,
Oh, good.
to shall
Okay.
collaborate. I thought
Okay.
that seemed more,
Okay.
but it sounds like maybe that
Thank you.
also is a
Okay,
concern.
so
just
good, so you
let me
changed
know.
that already. So
Wanted
you
to.
mean to tell me you took our feedback and you
I
stuck it in?
tried.
to try to-
I tried. I tried
Thank
to
you.
address.
Okay, good, okay, so good. Are we, so how does it read now? Can somebody,
Proposed, with proposed.
yeah, shall.
The chair or vice
propose.
chair
Thank
of the
you.
AAC shall collaborate with county staff.
Perfect.
But that's what, so then if that is okay, that was the same language that was used above,
three.
can we? then
No,
keep it
so
up
like I
there
said,
too?
my notes are from like the ones that we
Okay,
got.
the
Right.
earlier one.
The ones that we
ago.
didn't know you changed it, but
No.
thank you for
Okay.
doing that based
Okay.
on our input. So collaborate is,
Collaborate's good.
is good. We said in cooperation, but that's similar, but it's way better than us, so yeah. Okay, good. So are we all feeling pretty much the same, as far as collaborate with the county, or are we feeling differently? Yes? Okay. So. Okay.
And then the last,
Okay, so and this is, and you sent this in the new
This
packet
was
for
the
today.
April, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, next is, after 4.6.
Are we done with
No.
that, or
Wait,
I think there's
I have
more?
something
No,
else.
there's line 20 and line 28.
yeah,
Marilyn
there's
has
this
something.
big long sentence, but Marilyn
Okay.
has a question.
Oh, thank you, Marilyn.
So, following committee members may contact here. In order to be considered for placement on the printed agenda, the item must be submitted at least 15 days prior to the meeting. So at least, it used to say at least 10, and then it says 15.
It was 10, they wanna change it to 15 days.
And that's because 10 days is when we send out 10 days in advance of the meeting is when we actually send the packets out. So to get on the agenda to the packet that we're sending out, we need it a little earlier, or it's not gonna be,
I see.
it can't be considered, just because
Okay.
it's just time-wise
fast.
too late, yeah.
Okay. Understood.
That makes sense. So, anybody else on that part of it?
No, and then there was a few changes
Yeah.
and,
Does
but
line-
then next, the one where it says starts with provided, however, is that the same one as this time? Yeah, the last 4 lines.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that are getting stricken.
Yeah, I think they need to stay in.
But that's just Brown Act stuff, right?
That's just.
these last 4. Oops.
I mean, are they only being striked so that you're not repeating?
Yeah, because I think that's just except as expressly authorized under the Brown Act. And that just.
Brian,
replaces
can you
Brown
speak,
Act.
is this just Brown Act?
Yes, that's just
Just-
the Brown Act.
Just because it's already part of Brown Act?
Why was that in there before? Did the Brown Act, did it change? Was it changed? Why were these in there before and yet it wasn't adhering?
There
to
was,
the Brown Act then?
I think there was a drafting decision just to include specific provisions of the
Okay.
Brown Act in the
That makes
bylaws at
sense.
times. But because the Brown Act recently has continues to undergo amendments, the current best practice is just to reference the Brown Act in the bylaws.
Okay. All right, that
That
makes
makes
sense
sense
to
to
me. Thank you. Does that make sense to everybody else? Is that okay?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're okay there. And Brian, our summer, does that cover line 20 to line 28? That was
Yes,
crossed out
these sections.
previously.
Yes, it was
Okay.
everything.
Okay, thank you. So make sure I'm comparing my notes correctly. Okay, so 4.7 would be next.
I don't see any problems with the county's changes.
Anybody else see any problems with the county changes on 4.7? Are concerns?
Oh, man. Who got a PC?
Uh-oh.
It's some.
Hold on, technical difficulty. Good.
No.
Yeah, you can use mine.
You're welcome.
It's not gonna pay ya. No, I'll get you. some.
Okay. Sorry.
Like, there's no plug.
Do you need a charger?
I can move to the back. I think there's a plug-in.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one that also. Sorry, guys, about this.
No worries.
You know, it's
Do we have something else on the agenda after this?
Yeah.
What is?
Location,
Uh,
physical packet.
The location, the physical packets, and the liaison report.
Because we got
The
to,
talent show, we're almost done with it. We're getting through this pretty quick.
yeah. Just to-
I think that we need to keep going.
We're allowed 7, or I think an hour and a half for this to do the rest.
Yeah, what time is it now?
7:15.
Back in business.
Sorry about that.
Hey.
All right.
All right, so section
4.8.
4.8 now, so everybody's okay with the changes of 4.7, Summer? 4.8, resolutions, Crystal Shea?
I wanted to know if there was a reason you guys wanted to take it out.
My same question.
And if we can keep it, but maybe change the resolution to recommendation, because that's what we are giving as a recommendation. Instead of resolution.
Yeah, we took out the resolutions because one, you guys don't pass resolutions.
Yes.
The Board of Supervisors passes resolutions, so we took that out. Yeah, you guys do make recommendations, whether we need to capture that here. All official acts of the AC shall be yeah, I'm not sure if all official acts are even with a recommendation though. To put that in, or how that would,
Authorized by recommendation.
Yeah, well, the change would be to change it to recommendations, but leave it in would be the proposal
all official acts of the AC should be taken
from the.
by resolution, by recommendation, shall we?
Adopted on motion, duly made, seconded, and
Since the recommendation's in
Adopted by-
line with what we do, where we recommend, but we just change the resolution to recommend, but leave it in there, that's what, would you guys, how do you guys feel about that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if we say we wanna schedule, like, a special meeting, or like, make a subcommittee? I don't know if that's really authorized by recommendation.
I think special meetings are later.
Brian, do you have a
But
comment on
that would
that, or?
still
is
be-
that-
Yeah, because some things you guys do vote on and are like you vote on
Decision.
chair, vice chair, minutes, things like that, but then some things you don't, you make recommendations, so I'm just trying to think of how that. Brian, do you have any?
Brian, yeah.
Yeah, I would, if you just want to keep something here that makes it clear that you're acting by official action, I would just get rid of the authorized by resolution part and have it be all official acts of the AAC shall be taken by motion duly made, seconded, and adopted by vote of the members.
By motion.
Okay, so then where it says 4.8 resolutions, should that get changed to recommendation? Since we're not
Be taken out.
If you're
How about
taking
official-
resolution out down here,
That's where,
The section header,
yeah,
The header,
yeah.
okay, so 4.8 would be changed to what? Can you repeat that? Priscilla?
recommendations.
To recommendations, and then this 4.8 would read, all official acts of the AC shall be taken by motion, and then the rest duly made, et cetera. Is that correct?
That's how I saw it, it would make more sense,
Yeah,
but.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
I
then
think just
changing
scratching it was not.
Was it the
resolutions to
I think
recommendations
recommendations, yeah.
for the heading.
So,
Okay.
Just
Jeff?
so this is different than your motion to accept the agenda, your motion to accept minutes, I mean, those aren't recommendations.
I believe so. Is that correct?
Maybe the
Brian?
section title
Official
should be
acts.
act.
I
Yeah.
think that's what I think
Yeah.
official now.
Official act.
I like that
There we
better.
go. Yeah.
I like
Say that
better.
again?
Official acts
All
instead of
official
Acts of
recommend,
the
instead of,
themselves.
Okay, so you're saying for the heading, call it official act.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then it's,
I think that's excellent. Thank you. Brian, I'm changing the heading to official act, Summer.
Okay.
Thank
perfect,
you.
I'm sure you got that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next.
4.9.
4.9.
I see it.
Thoughts?
I'm trying to change it.
I'm fine. Anybody else have thoughts on 4.9 for those changes?
Well, good.
Okay. Or, anyone else?
I have a
Jess?
question. So where does it, give committee members the understanding of what conflict of interest is?
That
oh,
is,
further down.
rule 6.b.
Oh, okay.
6B.
Okay, do you see that? Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Anybody else regarding 4.9 voting? So I'm pretty much okay with it. Anybody else's thoughts? The changes on voting? Everybody okay, pretty much? Okay. All right, section 410, disqualification from voting. Questions, thoughts?
I'm fine with it.
It's good. Yeah, fine with that.
Okay, we're fine with the changes on 410, Summer. Section 411, minutes.
I have a change.
Okay,
It says, well, on mine.
Yeah.
Okay, it says committee secretary, which I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we need to get rid of that because it needs to go to county.
Yeah, I think
Planning,
the proposal
the
is to just
liaison,
leave it as.
correct.
Yeah.
And
So leave as is.
So just, sorry, I just want to clarify. As is identifies the secretary as
Yeah.
being responsible for the
get
minutes.
rid of sec.
Yeah, but it's the existing bylaws, the secretary is the county liaison.
Correct. When we say as is, she means the current bylaws
Yeah.
as they are now,
Yeah.
not the proposed bylaws.
And the current bylaws say that the secretary shall prepare the minutes.
No.
We
Yeah, no,
scratched
that's-
secretary.
The current bylaws,
It says secretary.
it
It's
says secretary.
But it's planning liaison.
Right, but the person who is the secretary and the other part
Is
of
the-
this is the
the
county
liaison.
planning liaison.
So the
And it
proposed,
says that in section 411 that you just highlighted. We're fine with that. We agree we need a secretary, but we want that secretary to be the county planning division liaison as it's currently written.
It's currently written because it was struck. County Planning Division liaison
Right.
is struck, so that's what it was.
the current
Correct.
existing bylaws.
Correct.
And that's what you wanna keep.
Yes. So, and the county liaison would be that person. As the current bylaws say. So you guys all are
Understood.
in agreement with that? Okay.
So
Yes.
there's other scratch, these minutes shall be an accurate summary of the AAC or committee considers each item on the agenda and an accurate record of each action. Why was that scratched? An accurate summary of the AACs or committee consideration of each item on the agenda and an accurate record of each action of the AAC.
Did you want to address that,
I think
Summer?
we just thought it was kind of redundant. I mean, we would carry on doing the meeting minutes as we do with a little brief, like, summary and action, like we record all of that
Mhm.
to be accurate. That's part of the accurate record of the item. A little
Well-
session and voting and.
No, that's of each action. So the accurate summary is when, I think it's our discussion. And sometimes.
Of each item on the agenda, and
Yeah.
accurate record of each item on the agenda.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we just thought that that was a little redundant. The accurate record of each item includes summary, voting, et cetera, for each item.
Well, in the past, there
But that's
wasn't,
up to-
it wasn't.
I agree with Marilyn. I would like to keep
That's up to your guys.
that,
Yeah.
I would like to keep the wording in red that you guys had stricken.
Thank you. Because it wasn't accurately recorded,
Oh,
so there wasn't discussion
Okay,
on some items.
okay, so, sorry, what was it?
To keep an accurate summary of the AACs or committee's consideration.
So we're just
So
gonna
keep
leave it
as
as
is.
it
Leave
was.
it, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
okay. Peter, did you have your hand up for that? About that?
I have a question on 410, if we could go back when we finish
Okay,
411.
well, okay, don't go back after we finish 411. On 410, so you guys are saying, I'm sorry, on 411, you're saying,
Keep as is. Keep as is.
not accept the changes, but leave as is
Right.
Yeah.
as the current bylaws.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, you got that okay, Summer?
Yeah, leave that section.
Okay. So are you in agreement with that?
That's fine.
Okay.
If it's majority, yeah.
Most people in agreement? Okay, Peter
Sorry,
has
Ellen?
a
Back.
question on 410.
Peter Markey, member speaking. The question I have on 410, the disqualifying from voting. In the past, it's came up on, where, there was a vote on an action with a farm, and I did business with that farm, but very minute, so I checked with my attorney, and asked if I should abstain from voting. And because the monetary amount was so minimal that it didn't affect, have any effect one way or the other, the attorney said, as long as you disclose you're doing business with them and the monetary amount was so marginal, minimal, it doesn't really have an effect, you can't vote. And this one here, it states here on 410, any financial interest of a member. So any means like 1 cent. And where I'm bringing it up to discussion because of my experience in the past and how I disclosed it. So do you understand?
Well, our proposal would be to strike financial and just say a disqualifying interest.
What are
Referring to Rule 6B then, which we'll get to a little later as to
Because
a little more clarity on what.
because I sold pumpkins to this one farm and it came up to vote on the one farm, so I wasn't sure if I'd have a conflict of interest, so I did speak to my attorney at length about it. And she said that because it was so minimal, just disclose the minimal amount of business, but the amount of money that you're talking didn't sway.
So,
one way
So
or
we
the
could-
other.
wait, so Summer,
Go
So
ahead.
we say,
he's saying to just remove the any financial interest of a member and say a
Here?
disqualifying interest. Yeah,
here?
Yeah.
But it's saying, except as required by law or conflict of interest, no member shall be disqualified from serving as a member or taking part in any proceedings of the AAC because of any financial interest.
And the qualifying interests are outlined in 6B, is that correct? The
Yeah.
disqualifying interest?
Yeah, so that's actually saying you're not automatically disqualified because of financial interest unless in conflict with law. But it's not actually saying you're disqualified if you have any financial interest.
Meaning, I know, it's a little hard. to
Okay, so
follow.
you're just wondering, Peter, what those disqualifying laws are, and on 6B, there's a reference to it, but is that correct, 6B?
6B, yeah.
Can you go over that part just because it relates to this one here?
So yeah, jumping to 6B, conflict of interest, 6.1, I would probably defer to Brian, just from a legal standpoint, on the conflict of interest policy. So I don't know if you heard Peter's concern.
Because in the past, Brian, they would sign a sheet of paper that you're bound by the conflict of interest code, and that would cover that, but is that correct? And so, yeah, what is the disqualifying?
So the disqualifying interests would be anything that would legally prevent you from participating or that are required by the board.
Which
So
are,
the incompatibility, that one wouldn't apply. I mean, it's a conflicts rule that applies, but or that could apply, but it wouldn't be relevant here. So Government Code Section 1090 prohibits public officials from having a financial interest in contracts in which they are making a decision on. So if for any reason a contract was before your committee, that could be a disqualifying interest. Common law bias, there is case law around, even if you don't have a financial interest, but you have a close personal connection, such as a family member is appearing before you or something like that, that could also be a disqualifying interest.
that's different than what we were
Wait,
told.
hold on.
Yeah, Peter, go ahead.
Brian, like in the past, like in agritourism, I disclosed that, like you said, close relation, related to me that family farms coming across the board, that I'm related to them, but I have no financial gain or loss, and I was able to vote on it. Are you saying that I'm not able to vote on it now?
So generally, the committee is bound by the board's standing rules, which require you to avoid any impropriety or appearance of impropriety, and that is not defined therein. But we look to things like the Political Reform Act, common law bias, things like that, to ultimately help guide you on what you perceive as what is an impropriety or an appearance of impropriety. So there are no hard and fast rules here. But these are but these are the guidance, I guess, for how you would identify that.
But there's no hard and fast rules, so.
There's the comment. Yeah, that's right. I can't tell you in the abstract that acting on an application by a family member would never be impropriety or an appearance of impropriety. It is a fact specific analysis for each situation.
There's we address it some in section 6.1 of 6B, which we're not there yet. Do you want to address it there, Peter, or do you want to take a look at that?
We could address it when we get to six.
Okay,
6.2,
so do we all feel we're all okay with everything going through section 4.11, but except that on 4.10, that Peter just went back to, he wants to check with 6B, and then when we get to 6B, we'll go back. Is that okay? And we'll check it. Is that okay with everybody?
I think we need to go back. I think as long as it's clarified in 6B, it's fine.
Okay, but if he needs, did everyone read those clarifications? Because when we get to 6B, we need to read them. And
Yeah,
we
but
need
we're going through all.
It's all good.
Okay, so if you decide that that changes, because when you read it and you see what the disqualifications are, if that changes your vote on the prior one, then I just want you to be able to do that. So it's all, okay. All right, Peter, is that good for you to do it that way?
Well, I got from Brian that it's not written in stone, so that's good enough for me.
Okay, all right.
It's a little vague.
It's a little vague. All right, yeah. Okay, so 411, we went through that. So the next one's 412, section 412, public records.
No changes.
No changes, we got this. Okay, anybody feel that there's no changes on that one from the county? Okay, thank you. And the next one, after 412, apologize, some pages here, is 5B. And under 5B, okay, under appointments. Did anyone have anything on 5.1 under appointments?
The only question I had was why was section 5.1 appointment, why was that scratched out? As a
Well,
header.
yeah, it was just because we were proposing to eliminate 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4, so it only got that one, so it was just that rule. There's no section, multiple sections to have to call out was all.
Thank you for the clarification. Anybody have any problems or concerns about the county proposed changes for that 5.1 under Rule 5B committees? Marilyn?
I was hoping to keep, and I don't understand why it was scratched. The last line, if a majority of the AAC approves any recommendations from the subcommittee, such recommendations shall be reported to the Board of Supervisors.
That's what I have in mind.
What's that?
That's what I have in mind.
Well, it was scratched out is what we,
Yeah.
No, was it not?
can you show that on the screen? Where is that on the screen?
Okay,
5.1.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the highlight. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is.
I'd like to keep it.
I would like to maybe make a slight change, because it's not all the recommendations are going to board, but maybe the Board of Supervisors or pertinent, wherever it needs to go to.
It's from a subcommittee, not our regular committee.
Oh, yeah.
But that's after the
It's
subcommittee,
Yes.
you guys vote on the subcommittee's
Yeah.
findings.
The AAC would take the subcommittee's findings and then report it to the board. of
Yeah, okay,
Supervisors.
yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep that.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason to take it out.
Okay, all right, is everyone in agreement with James and Marilyn in keeping that agreement? Yes, okay, yes, okay, all right, good, all right, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a little redundant. We thought it was a little redundant because the AAC is supposed, like, you're supposed to be reporting to the Board of Supervisors as just a natural function because you're advising the board of supervisors, but
My counter stance to that was
it's fine.
our agritism, tourism stuff never got to the board. Our recommendations, right?
Yeah. Well, I think you make a good point, actually. I think it's better to be more detailed than less. So that's a good point, actually. So we're all in agreement, then that we keep that in for the 5.1. Okay. Okay, I'm just writing my notes. Before I move on, just a minute, sorry about that. 5.2, section 5.2, thoughts, comments, concerns?
That's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, for standing committees?
Well, does that
It wasn't
include
anything.
subcommittees?
We don't have any
There
standing.
wasn't, so the.
Because on my original notes, I had,
Hold on a
The
minute. 'cause-
bylaws,
Yeah.
so what's on the screen are the current bylaws and out of section 5.2, but there was nothing to it, so we were just proposing to clean it up.
Okay, so you want to eliminate the unused,
Yes, it was eliminating the.
and so standing committees itself, should you eliminate that whole section? And then just, so it's not there, or you want to just leave it there because there's no content?
Take it out.
Yeah, take it out.
Okay, so are you okay just taking that out then, Summer?
Yeah,
where
we
it
were
says
just
the
proposing to
heading?
remove that section.
Okay, okay, all right, good, thank you. And everyone's in agreement, obviously, that's fine. Okay, next is 5.3, meetings.
We were proposing to eliminate, it was a little redundant to other sections about time frames for meetings.
And that's a student members thing. Okay, so that addresses seated members, and we kind of got the clarification and more of an understanding about that then, or about that just a little bit ago. So does that mean that you all feel it's okay to go with the county changes on that, then the 5.3,
I
which
just have
is
a
the
clarification.
elimination? Yes.
So where it says the subcommittees, earlier when it said special, when we were just talking about the special meetings and having that discussion of personally and or by mail, is a subcommittee the same thing as a special meeting?
No.
I didn't think so. Do we have the subcommittee anywhere else?
Oh,
Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, we're scratching out regular meetings
Oh, we
of the committees, but where is subcommittee gonna fall under then?
Maybe under 5B, under committees and subcommittees.
Just wanna make sure we're not getting rid of it altogether
Right.
for when we do need it.
I mean, I would think that it's also in the rules for running, because it talks about like making a subcommittee, I thought earlier in the
Oh
document.
yeah, it can only be 4, it couldn't be more than a quorum. It did talk about subcommittees.
Yeah.
So I thought the Brown Act did,
Well, the
but,
Brown Act covers it, and it does make a
but when it
reference.
says. Oh,
Okay, you're looking at what,
Yeah, I have a little under 5B about subcommittees.
We're in 5.3, right?
yeah, correct.
When are we in 5.4, I got a comment.
What'd you say?
When I get to 5.4, I have a comment.
Okay.
And we're gonna have to wrap up
Okay,
soon.
we're actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's only 5 more after this, and
Yeah, but
I
we still
think there's a
have
lot of agreement.
all of these things.
Right.
So
So you
I-
wanna stop the bylaws where we are and then move on to the other stuff, Robbie?
Let's finish 5.4.
Well, yeah, we will, but we're, in terms of wrapping it up, rather than,
Did I
we only
hear
have 4
that, did I
more.
hear that there's a lot more,
Just a couple more.
suggestions?
Well, no,
No,
I'm,
she said there's
just
other
so-
agenda items.
I just wanna clarify that and maybe,
Okay, so right now, we're getting a clarification, Summer, on, something regarding 5.3, is that correct?
Yeah, I think the concern was that we're eliminating clarifications on subcommittees.
Yeah.
By eliminating 5.3 and, whether we have it covered elsewhere.
yes.
To eliminate it, or if we're gonna lose something.
Okay, so,
If we could just put the first sentence.
We may need to keep this in unless Brian does, do you know, would subcommittees fall under in terms of meeting, notice for meeting, is that covered under just a regular, probably not just regular committee noticing and that we have elsewhere. And
So yeah, so everything above that applies to the committee as a whole is just consistent with the Brown Act anyways. And so the reason that the recommendation was to just simplify the subcommittee is because if it's an ad hoc committee, the Brown Act doesn't apply. But if it's a standing committee, the Brown Act does apply. And so it was confusing as written because it said meetings, but it didn't clarify whether it was specifying ad hoc committees or standing committees. And so these would only apply to standing committees. Um, but it doesn't need to be specified because all the same Brown Act provisions would apply to the standing committees. So all of the same notice standing committees essentially are legislative bodies for the purposes of the Brown Act, so the default Brown Act rules would apply.
So we need to make it like.
so noticing is as stated above, basically.
Okay, go up, Peter.
Peter Markey, member speaking. On 5.3 first, subcommittee shall constitute a quorum. Now, we had subcommittees in the past that we didn't have a quorum. We're supposed to have a quorum on subcommittees.
I believe so. Brian,
That's
For
correct.
standing committees, yes.
standing committee, they
Subcommittee.
need a quorum.
Not
It's
for
a
ad hoc
sub-
committees.
Subcommittee.
Okay, what's the difference between a standing committee and an ad hoc committee?
An ad hoc subcommittee is a subcommittee that is created for a limited period of time to focus on a specific issue. A standing committee is one that has continuing subject matter jurisdiction over a certain area or has a meeting schedule set by the legislative body. So if you were to create a standing committee that it was you said we're going to have a standing subcommittee that looks at what's something agritourism, and they are going to meet every month, and it's just going to be the forum to discuss agritourism, and they're going to meet once a month, and that's their purview. That would be a standing committee that is subject to the Brown Act, and so quorum requirements would apply. But if it's just an ad hoc committee where you say we have an ad hoc committee to look more closely at some upcoming legislative changes or something like that. We're just going to focus on it for a short period of time. That's all they're looking at. That would be an ad hoc committee that is not subject to the Brown Act.
Okay, Peter.
Echoing on that, Peter Markey speaking in, echoing on that, Brian. We had in the past a subcommittee for agritourism, and right here it says will be open to public on 5.4, and it was not open to the public, and it was actually at planning office in Redwood City, and we met once a month for about 6 months, and would that be considered an ad hoc committee, or?
That would be an ad hoc committee. So if it's for just a short period of time to look at a specific issue, that would be an ad hoc committee. So if it's just a few months and it's just looking, if that was in connection with an upcoming policy change or legislative change, that would be an ad hoc committee. It's when you establish a subcommittee with continuing subject matter jurisdiction. So it's set, ongoing into the future for as long as needed. That would be a standing committee.
Okay, and then the same as when we had the subcommittee for the Williamson Act to upgrade it, that would be considered an ad hoc committee as well, because it was not a long period of time to make changes.
If it was for a short period of time and it was just looking at discretely some proposed changes to Williamson Act rules, then yes, that would be an ad hoc committee.
Thank you for the clarification. I just want to double back to Marilyn really fast because I think you had a question or a comment. Or no?
I'm good.
Okay, Cole?
Just a quick question. I know we're limited on time for this group. Are we gonna come back to continue this in the next meeting?
Yeah, but we're gonna, from
Okay,
where we
just-
left off,
Okay,
just like
because
last
there's
week.
another item that was actually discussed at the reason I wanna come back to, but I can hold off next meeting.
Okay, but you'll write a note to yourself to remember, but was
Yeah, I
one of
mean-
the ones we discussed already?
I mean, I could bring it up quickly, just so it's
Okay.
on the radar.
If it's okay with everybody, I think it's a good
Sure,
idea.
so I alluded to this earlier, but I wanted to kind of flesh it out because it's something we ended up talking about last meeting for section 2.2, which is the board members. in terms of having 7 farmers versus the 4 kind of non-farmer members. To me, we in my couple of years of being on this committee, we've struggled to fulfill the conservationist position and often public member positions. And I think we're very lucky that we have Megan right now as an excellent representative of a public member. I think that the committee, though, as a whole, I think it would make more sense to have additional farmers being represented, considering this is the focus of this committee. I don't necessarily see the need for us having 2 public members, and a conservationist at that as well. And the reason why I bring this up is because there are a limited number of seats that seem to be opening, and I've had a lot of interest from other farmers in our community that would like to join this committee. And I think there's limited seats available. And it seems like to me that we have 2 seats that open right now that realistically probably should be filled by, in my opinion, should be filled by farmers. Especially for younger farmers that are interested in kind of joining this committee. I think that's another area as well. My farm business has been in operation for almost a decade, and I think it's the youngest business, if I'm not mistaken, represented in this committee. And I think that's an issue. I think we should have more young farmers who are kind of like on this committee to become actively engaged in kind of how this stuff works. And yeah, so that's my 2 cents. I'd make a recommendation that those numbers are adjusted to maybe increase.
I think that's a wonderful point that we could probably discuss, but for the purpose of going on with the bylaws, is that allowed?
Can I just say one?
Oh,
So,
sorry, go ahead.
I appreciate that comment, and I just wanna, just to clarify for the expectation of these bylaws, that is something that's, that the number of seats and, 7 farmers, 1 ag business, that is all, from Board of Supervisor resolution, so it's not something that can be changed just from our
bylaws.
and through the bylaws, but it is something separately that can be taken up to the Board of Supervisors. They would need to, adopt a resolution to adjust that, so that might be, I would say, table that, and that's something on a kind of parallel track.
Can you put
guys
that
can
in your
discuss and
notes,
maybe make
Bobby,
recommendations
and
on.
we could discuss it and see if we can agendize that
That'd be great.
for
I
that
appreciate it.
reason, the way Summer said it. Peter,
Peter Markey speaking. The,
and then John, you're next.
in the past,
And after John, we're gonna have to wrap it up and go to the next one. Peter, go ahead.
in
Go to the
the
next.
past, the committee was a lot larger. But it shrank through time because we couldn't fill seats. So, but we had a lot more farms, a lot more.
Yeah.
And then through time, it shrank, that's all.
But that's a good thing to agendize. John?
I just wanted to clarify, is there anything preventing a farmer from filling a public member position?
Excellent
I
question.
guess that would maybe preclude that particular member from being able to serve as chair, but
But at least they could join the committee. Is there? I don't believe so, because you're a farmer, Marilyn, is that correct? But you're
No,
here as
she's
a public,
no.
no, but you're here as a public member, but you happen to farm.
I was a farmer, but I'm not a farmer.
And not anymore. Okay, so anyway, Marilyn's here as a public member, and I believe she's also farmed, but I was incorrect, she doesn't. So can you answer John's question?
It-
He did.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say,
Oh, thank you,
no,
Summer.
I don't think there is anything, he's going through the
Okay.
same application process, you get appointed by the board. I would just say, the one thing they should, they, as a public member seat, even though they're a farmer, they wouldn't be able to be chair or vice chair based on the, proposed regulations.
But that's a good point, thank you,
But once
John.
they're, if a farmer position or vacancy,
If it opened, then they'd have to get reappointed.
Okay.
Because then you get appointed by the board to a
Right.
specific seat, so
Uh-huh.
you've gotta be reappointed through a board action,
okay,
but that's
could-
possible.
it's possible.
Thank you, I need to move on.
Okay.
So we're gonna stop, what is the number we're stopping at? Somebody get it?
5.3 is where we're.
Okay, so stopped at 5.3, did we finish 5.3 or is that the next one?
No, let's just.
I don't think so.
Okay, so 5.3 is the next one, correct? Okay, for the record, 5.3 is the next one, and we are very close to finishing the bylaws. Great work, everybody. Next, and Robbie, thank you for helping me with the time constraints. Next is the AAC meeting location discussion on Half Moon Bay Library, et cetera. Robbie Miller is going to present that.
Yeah, not much to present. Obviously,
We're here.
We're here, yeah, exactly. The one big update I have is I've checked with, the people that oversee Old Train Depot or Johnson House, they're called the same thing. But it's the Old Train Depot. I've two things, just verified that there's no internet there and there is heat there, so I think there is heat. There's still no internet. I checked with our IT department because it was mentioned that possibly we have some portable wireless things. I asked if that could like accommodate like a meeting, like a Zoom meeting, and it would not. So to run a hybrid meeting, so as a result, I think we're not going to entertain that location because we need this set up, and we have this beautiful room.
But we
Okay,
only have this till
what-
8,
what-
right?
Sorry.
Go ahead. Is it okay? I'm gonna let him finish and we'll
Yeah.
take questions. Okay. Go ahead, Robbie.
And then the last thing I just remind that we do need a insurance policy that's expired, so that's part of why I'm also looking for a vote tonight for our meeting location. So I'm asking for a vote on essentially Ted Adcock Center at this point or Half Moon Bay Library. Okay, that's the end of my presentation.
Okay, so discussion, Marilyn, you had your hand up?
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
you had asked me last meeting with Mike Alfano
Yeah.
to find out.
Thank
And
you.
he said, yes, absolutely. And I asked him, well, would it be able to support video conference? And he said, he has a portable Starlink that will work
At the,
at the train depot.
okay,
So, he said it's super easy to do. I could do it for us because he would charge $400 to deliver, set up, come back, take down. But he said, it's super easy. I could teach you to do it and just charge you for the rental of the Starlink, which would be maybe $100, but he's willing to work with us. If we couldn't afford $100. Did let me know what would keep them from not doing it, because I'll try and work with you the best I can.
okay, Robbie?
So, perfect. Who is this person?
Mike Alfano from Alfano Technologies here on Main Street in Half Moon Bay. He does many tech things for the community,
He's very, very active with the Chamber of Commerce, all the nonprofits here on the coast.
like the 4th of July parade, he does the PA system.
Excuse me. I'm
Farm
so
Day-
sorry. Pardon me through the chair. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but before we get further along with this item, I do realize that we missed opening the public comment for item number 2. So I just think for the record, we will have to open the public comment and see if anybody is wishing to speak in the room or online. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
there's
to-
nobody, there is one public member in the room, so I'll check with her first.
But there's Zoom.
I'm
So
sorry,
just
what?
to clarify for the members of the public, apologies for missing, but right now we are opening public comment for item number 2.
Okay, would you like me to do the public member in the room first and see if she wants to speak? Or do you
Yes.
have Zoom people? Thank you.
Go ahead, Madam Chair.
Would you like to speak? No, okay, no, thank you. Okay,
No.
is there anybody on Zoom that wants to speak?
Yeah, if we could see the.
If we could see the
Thank-
people that
yes,
would help.
thank you. At this time, there are no hands raised.
Okay, thank you very much,
Oh,
Angela.
yeah, it's
Okay.
on the way.
Robbie?
Can you put
Yeah.
that back?
The attendees again.
Okay, Robbie's
Again,
gonna put the attendees back up there, the participants.
It might just be in the corner.
Thank you.
Angela's monitoring
No, no.
this.
Okay. Angela, for the record, if you're able to keep the participants up on the screen,
Yeah,
that would
I like
help.
seeing them.
Yeah, it's helpful, thank you. Okay, so
Close public
Where
comment.
what would you like to do? We're closing public comment on that and going back to the matter at hand. Jess Brown, go ahead.
Just curious, with the configuration of this room, how many people maximum can be in it? You know, but
Yeah, we can open up this wall as long as we rent the other, but let them know.
Reserve.
We can generally have that open.
Oh, I have another question.
Okay, Marilyn Johnson, go ahead.
Are we being, so do we need to be filmed all the time? Is that part of why we don't go to the train depot, or is it only because we need to have Wi-Fi access for the Zoom participants?
I'm under the assumption it's for county recordings of our meetings.
Brian, did you have
At least
an
to
answer
record
to
them.
that
Record them, or
question?
do you have to be on YouTube? Or can you just record them?
Right.
Just to ask the attorney from a legal standpoint, did you hear Marilyn's question?
I didn't hear the question. No, could you repeat it?
Can you repeat it, please?
Yes, do we have to, is it required that we film the meeting?
Do you mean like actually make a video recording of it, or have a video
Yeah.
audio option?
Film it as we've been doing and putting it in the county, put it on YouTube. Is that required or not? That it be
No.
filmed?
No, it's not. It's generally the county. If we're meeting via Zoom and we have the opportunity to do it, typically it is recorded just to maintain have a record, but it's not a legal requirement that meetings be recorded.
Okay,
And I do use it for minutes.
right, so you
So
could use a recording.
That would be so much harder though.
Okay. Oh, so I transcribed, it's not too bad.
Okay, so just to keep moving forward with momentum, do we have a motion on?
Public comment.
Did you have public comment just came up?
No, we should open up, if we're done with clarifying questions and stuff, let's open up comment.
Well,
Okay,
I think one
Thank you, John.
Sorry, John.
No, John
speaking.
Vars, go ahead, sorry.
One thing, I think in our bylaw and laws, we rejected the idea that we would end at 8, and I believe this room does not allow us to stay after 8, is that true?
8:15 is the end point.
Yeah, but we generally, we should be out of here by 8:15, so probably 8:05 is hoping to probably,
Right, but there are those circumstances when we are in the middle of discussion and we need, for an applicant, we need to. I mean, even this, we could have finished our bylaws tonight, we could have, in another half an hour maybe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had that, we're still getting used to the new agenda, we burned 25 minutes just setting the agenda and the minutes.
Robbie, can we go ahead and move to public comment on this? And is there any public comment on this matter?
But
Are we done with discussion? Or do you want to discuss more?
After public comment, you can open up.
We
for
can,
more
right, we can
discussion.
make a motion and we can vote and we can discuss. So, opening for public comment, are there any public comments of people present? Carrie Burke,
I had a question about
can you,
this.
go to the podium so they can hear you? Because the mic is over here, sorry about that.
I had a question about the Starlink up at the depot, because
Thank
is
you,
it a
Connor.
monthly subscription then that they would have to budget for the county? That would be a consideration, I guess, for consideration. And then does the device stay there? So, would it be available for other people? They have to take it up and down every time?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It just goes on the lawn, it doesn't, you don't have to put it up,
Yeah, it's like the RV ones.
yes.
Just a question about what would be involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a public comment from anyone on Zoom?
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Okay, thank you. We have open for discussion and motions. James Oku.
I have a question to staff on Zoom. How do you guys like it here compared to our previous room? Is the mic quality better? Is the internet better?
I'll know more when I hear this video.
Well, that's what I was curious
Right.
about for
But-
Brian and.
But there's other things, like if the audio is not that great, we can look at they have some mics here, I think, so we can start incorporating mics. I think the county also, we have the mics too. Okay, so, but at least I was told that they have mics, so we could incorporate that if the audio's not that great. Otherwise, everything looks it was really easy to set up.
Is there a way,
Yeah.
Robbie, to set it up where these can be out a little bit this way? Because I'm under the same situation we had in the other room where I can't see the public people, nor can I see at the end of the table. So I'm not able to recognize if somebody has their hand raised. So we can maybe do that, make it a little bit of an angle.
Yeah, like a beat or something.
Okay.
Just your table.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Michael Neal?
I was just gonna mention, I don't know about this railroad depot, is it ADA
Yes.
acceptable? Is the
Yes, we used
parking
to have
lot-
our meeting
Yeah.
Can
there.
I ask a question?
Sorry.
Is the parking lot paved, so like during the winter,
It's not paid.
it's not paved?
It's hard,
Gravel.
yeah,
Or
hard
gravel.
gravel.
Or-
I was just thinking during the winter and the rain, ADA access, you need to be able to,
You should be
you
able
know,
to.
Yeah.
Can I make a motion that we reach out to Mr. Alafano and see if he wouldn't mind sharing with us what the experience would be next month's meeting at the train depot, whether he show one of us. I'm happy to either tag team with Marilyn or if she
Yeah.
wants to connect with him to get the Starlink out there to see if that is a possibility and see what the setup and how it would look.
James?
Can I make an opposing motion?
Okay, so how does that work? Do I allow for an opposing motion? Brian? Can you clarify?
she makes a
I-
motion.
Yes, it's normally called a substitute motion.
Okay,
So I'd like to make a substitute motion to make a subcommittee that can meet with Robbie ahead of the next meeting to do that. So that a choice can be made just amongst the subcommittee and Robbie and to check how the internet and how all that kind of stuff runs.
and how does that, okay, so we're gonna get for a second, but really fast for his clarification of his motion. Just curious, are you able, I understand that the insurance is expired and that's a point of contention. Are you able to get any special insurance for the time in the middle? But you have to have a location for that, is that correct?
I think
You can't get just, for the next
I
meeting.
think for now, I'm not. Yeah, I think we can move it to next for a vote,
Okay.
official vote. for
All right,
next
thank
meeting.
you. Okay, so now I've got two motions on the table. Did you want to withdraw your motion?
I'll withdraw mine. I
Okay, so
think that's a
Crystal
great idea.
withdrawed hers. Peter?
Question.
Yes.
Would it be easier for you if we have one more meeting here, so to give more time to set up, all the information you need from train station or not? I'm just asking. To me, it doesn't matter, just throwing it out there.
The main challenge I see moving forward is, are you saying it costs $400 per setup per meeting?
He said he would work with us to reduce that if we couldn't afford it.
Now, you said 400 is what he charges, but if
Yeah.
you set it up, it won't cost that. It only costs $100, correct?
It
If
was.
we had him go
So
out
it's
and do it, it
$100
would be
per meeting.
400.
But he's gonna show Marilyn how to do it and she'll do it with you. If you know, if need be, but he'll show you how to do it.
Yeah.
So that 400 will be waived, but it's $100 still for the cost of the Starlink material.
I think that will be an issue, the cost. Plus that it's not staff equipment or like some kind of, like the library is a county, actually part of the county library system. So that could be a major challenge too, of just using somebody else's equipment for that.
It's,
So, but those are the two things that But yeah, I'm okay, I guess, working with, who would I be working with?
Yeah, and we'd be working with, well, are you
Yeah, I
saying
would
with
do
Maryland
it.
would
I
set
would-
it up?
Crystal.
But he's also not, he is a business, so I don't know if he comes with his own, obviously his own insurance and so forth, but just to let you know, it's not just a private person. It's a business, a house.
And so I wanted to clarify, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the Home Depot or the Depot train station is also Lowe's is also the same overseer as Ted Adcock. So if we can go there as a city of Half Moon Bay property, we should be able to do the same thing with another city of Half Moon Bay property. But I think what James is suggesting of a small subcommittee of you, maybe me, Marilyn, and Mike as the public member to just kind of maybe meet there and take a look at the spot or the space and test out the Starlink. Maybe you'll have a clear vision of what we're trying to.
And then that would allow for more time.
I have been to the location. The cost is, I don't know. If that's what you all really want, I would say, I mean, yeah, I just don't know if we can use somebody else's equipment and then pay them for it, and then, so.
We'd have to take it about Jess and then, Mike, or James, I'm sorry, yeah.
I'm thinking that the discussion about moving there is we could have longer meetings.
Yes,
Right.
that's our.
But the question is, if we move there, is the county going to allow their staff to stay for the longer meetings? Isn't that one of our limitations also?
Is that a limitation, Robbie?
I don't know.
Brian, do you know the answer to that? Were you not, you didn't hear the question again?
No, I heard the question.
You don't know?
I don't know if the planning
Okay.
director would authorize.
Okay, that's okay, I just thought I'd give it a shot,
that's not-
thank you. Okay, James?
I would just also like to say that I am more than happy with the space as well.
When you say this
Is there a
This space,
TV or monitor?
Parkside,
When you go to the depot, is there a TV or a monitor?
I don't know, I've never rented it.
That's why I'm saying, when you go there, go look at it. and
That's
see
why,
sure.
that's why I'm saying.
So
James had a
right
great
now, we
idea.
have a motion on the table for the subcommittee. Crystal redacted her motion, so do we have a second for the
I'll second
subcommittee?
it.
Okay, Marilyn seconds it, and then maybe if you said you're okay on time, would you look at it in the interim with the county as far as the $100? And then the subcommittee can meet, and who's gonna arrange, who would like to chair the subcommittee to arrange it?
So
Uh,
that's
Yes.
an issue too, like, there's no broadcast, like no TV or anything so I don't know, where is that coming from?
Maybe the city of Half Moon Bay.
Maybe
has
we don't
one.
need to video, maybe we just need audio.
Well, the city of Half Moon Bay provides it at Shoreline, right? So and yeah, it's true that people can rent that depot just like they rent Shoreline. So if you get do you get your monitor from Shoreline, from City of Half Moon Bay, Ted Adcock, sorry, they used to call it Shoreline. Do you get it from there when you do your stuff? So I would assume if they provide it there, they could probably provide it at Depot,
No,
right?
They're not gonna
I don't think.
send
Okay.
a monitor over.
I think you rent as is.
Okay, I understand.
So no monitor is there.
Okay, okay, Peter?
The Wi-Fi, we'd have to pay for Wi-Fi, I don't,
Okay, so do we
I just
want
don't see
to
that
vote on this and make a decision, even though Robbie says it might not work? Peter, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I made the suggestion in this earlier, when we make it. I think we should decide to either have it here or Ted Cock to give you, and then give you enough time to check all these things out. The thing that you're saying, Crystal and Maryland,
Okay,
in this habit.
do you want to make a motion of that while we check,
You have one motion on the floor, you can't have a second.
okay,
So let's
well, when she moved, he was able to move, was that different?
I withdrew, he has a motion.
Well,
on the
no,
floor.
Well,
he
I mean,
moved
it's
before you withdrew, but anyway,
Let's vote.
but that's okay. Okay, so we vote on, do we go for a second then of his motion?
I seconded.
And then
What
we,
was the motion?
right, I know, I'm
To make
asking
a
him a question.
subcommittee, to meet with Robbie to check to see the shoreline station. Which I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
And now we vote.
Yeah. as far as I'm concerned, there can also be a motion to be here in the interim. That could be a subcommittee for down the line.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to change your motion to add that and put an addendum to your motion?
It doesn't need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just asking for a subcommittee.
Okay, so your motion is just a subcommittee. Okay, so
Is that an
we
ad
have-
hoc subcommittee?
a subcommittee to go to
Yes.
an ad hoc, to go to
By
to
definition.
figure out the train depot. And Marilyn seconded, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so it passes, so they'll work on that. The second discussion point was to have it here or at the at Ted Adcock in the interim while you guys are figuring that out for the point for Robbie's needs, what he needs to find out. Peter, would you like to make a motion on that?
First of all,
First. No, I was gonna make one.
Okay, we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Go ahead,
because-
I'm gonna make a motion for the meeting to be here.
And I'll second it.
Okay, until while they're figuring it out, and then we will revisit it, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned, it could be for the next. meeting.
Okay, so then go ahead, everybody in favor until
Aye.
we revisit? Everyone opposed? Okay, and then Robbie, you'll report back your findings at the next meeting, correct?
Yeah.
Not just the
It
findings,
was a subcommittee.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about what you need to find out in the interim about the insurance and about if they'll pay for the $100.
Okay.
Okay, and then who's gonna coordinate the subcommittee? Marilyn, did you wanna chair the subcommittee?
Sure.
Okay, so Marilyn will chair the subcommittee, and anyone who'd like to be on the subcommittee, do you wanna get a hand raised now so you know who to call? Okay,
Yeah.
subcommittee, who wants to do it? Okay,
What are the
James?
rules for the subcommittee?
Well, you just can't be more than a quorum, so it can't be 6.
So it can only be four.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind going.
Okay, so James and Crystal and yourself?
Yep.
And perfect, okay, yay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay,
He
so-
didn't adjourn, go ahead.
No, just, he's supposed to do his.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna.
You wanna keep
If
going?
you could table the item 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll table those items, and then would you like me to adjourn the meeting, Robert, because I
Yeah,
know that it's
please.
past the time.
So he doesn't have to do his report?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'm just asking, because.
We're taking it for this.
Yeah, it's, yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're gonna,
I thought that was.
we have to be out of here,
yeah.
and I'd certainly love to hear your report, but, yeah. But that just is another reason to, if those in favor, vote for
You need a
the,
motion to
the Bruce
table
can
this
vote
item.
for it.
I think,
You need
Yeah.
a motion to table this item.
I don't know, Brian, do we need a motion to table this couple items? You're muted.
Yeah, no, not if the lights are about to go off. No, if you have time to make the motion, yeah, sure, please. You can do that. but-
Okay, somebody
I
move.
make a motion to table the last items to next meeting.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We all know our homework, and we will.
We got
do
to
it.
vote.
Vote.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?